here.
Okay.
This one is not healing, so it's probably rotten down and up. There's another one up top there. It's probably hollow all the way through, but that branch is going your way. When he did trimming, he also had some heading cuts up there,
Okay.
and that's where you can see where they trimmed it before, and you get that extra growth that shoots out of there. So, this is definitely what I would call a senior tree. So it is getting near the end of its life cycle.
Is it really? How,
Yeah.
how old would you say it is?
That's a big one. That's probably 150, 200 maybe.
Wow.
Yep.
I was reading it's like 130 that they usually last. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's a big one. That is a big one. Unfortunately, with the equipment I have, I would not be able to do anything on this
Oh
thing.
shoot.
I just don't have the reach, and this is all fenced in back here. There's very little access on that side. You can't get through your side because of the garage. If you want to do any trimming or any type of removal, I would recommend reaching out to Stang Tree Service,
ST.
ANG.
Okay.
He's
Are
out
they-
of Oshkosh
okay.
too. He has access to cranes, so he could park a crane in here and get this thing
Nice. Okay.
pretty easy. So, and do some trimming. I mean, if you want to do some more trimming on it.
So bottom line, what do you recommend?
It's getting near the end of its life.
Yeah.
I mean, this one looks like it broke off in a storm. The one that was kind of going out there.
Right. Last
Did it?
winter. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you're going to have, and as more and more stuff breaks off, you're going to have wounds like that
Right.
don't heal. You can see there were some other ones on there that were trimmed off that have healed over, but the older the tree gets, the bigger the wound gets, the harder
Right.
it is for it to close up.
So it might fall this winter, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, it could fall 3 seconds from now
Yeah.
or 20
That's
years.
how old it is.
Yeah, 20 years
Yeah.
from now.
Well,
So,
yeah. That's.
I mean, the option is there to trim it again, just to get it up a bit.
Right.
You don't want to trim it up too much.
If it were your tree on your property and you love the tree, would you trim it
I would trim it, yeah, if I loved it. Yep.
if you loved
Yep.
it?
No,
Okay.
it's a silver maple. I've got oaks on my property, so that's a little different. They're a little older, a little harder to grow.
By trimming, like, does all these branches should go?
Well, the lower ones.
All the
These
lower
lower
ones? Yeah.
And especially the stuff over her house here. What you're
Okay.
trying to do is just reduce some weight on that limb. So I would almost get rid of. I wouldn't get rid of this limb completely. I would probably chop it back to, if you're coming up on this, you see that first one coming this way?
Yeah.
That's probably where I'd chop it right there.
I see. Okay.
Just to allow this to continue to grow. Probably get that lower one off. That would take some weight off here. Maybe get that second one off.
Uh-huh.
So as you trim it, you're changing the wind load on the tree. So
Right.
this tree has grown here all this year. It's gotten used to environmental conditions.
Right.
It creates what's called reactionary wood.
Uh-huh.
So it's growing wood, gravity, sunlight, and wind. So that's why you don't want to trim too much off, because then you change the wind loading on it. And in a wind event, it can actually make it a little more prone to failure at that point. So
Did you see the other side? How the on the other side there's a lot of trimming on, and it seems
Yep.
like heavy on this side now.
yes. So whenever you trim, if you trim, like you can see on some of these branches up here, where they trimmed it, when you trim one branch off, you get 4. If it's not done correctly, like when I said come back to this branch,
Right.
what you're hoping is this branch is going to take over, and you're not going to get that little offshoot on it. So what happens is if you trim a branch off incorrectly, you're going to get 4 or 5 more branches growing, and they're going to grow
That's
much
what's
quicker.
happening over there.
Yep. It's going to grow much quicker, faster. You can actually see the branches because the bark is a little lighter colored on them. So.
Right. So from looking on that side, I mean, is it have a potential of falling on this house? If
On
it,
this house
yeah,
or your house?
on this house, since I've been trimming branches on that side.
Yep.
See, there's not much trimming over
So
here.
you're talking for like weight. I mean,
Right, weight
that typically
distribution. Yeah.
typically doesn't happen.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. So it is heavy on this side, but it doesn't matter.
No, no.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's good to know.
But again, I mean, you do want to. I would definitely recommend at least another trim on it to get some weight off.
So the hollowness that's common.
Well, I would be concerned with this branch right here, the one where you see the two cavities in it.
Okay.
Now, there's nothing much. I don't know what's behind there, but if that thing goes, it's not gonna. It looks like it's not gonna hit anything. I'm not sure where your garage goes back to. I mean, if it's gonna go that way.
Okay.
Unless we get a tornado or something coming
Right.
through. Most trees, when they get to this size, are hollow in the middle, especially these maples.
Okay.
They rot out real quick, so
Okay.
as I'm saying, I mean, if this tree was in perfect, I mean, there were no wounds on it or anything, and it was this size, and you were to cut it down, it would probably be hollow in the middle.
So if it's going this way.
That branch, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
The
Yeah,
whole
the whole thing is
the
just
whole
weighted.
thing. Yeah. And if it were to go down, let's say you think this is all healthy up here? Up here?
This side, everything
Yeah.
on this side looks better than
Okay.
on your side.
All right.
Yep.
And that branch right here, that's going over my garage. Do you recommend?
You could probably trim it back a little bit more.
Yeah.
Problem with trimming back a little bit more, again, you
Okay.
take one branch off, you're going to get 4 or 5 new ones growing in
Right,
its spot.
right.
So, I mean, it's to the point, you know, if you take those 2 branches going off your way, that little one would probably be okay, the one behind, because it's so small.
Right.
This big one where it cracked off, I would almost cut it where it cracked to leave that whole stem there, because it's going to rot out. It will never heal.
Right.
It's
Okay.
just too big of a wound to close up. Yeah, I think taking this thing down, you're looking at several $1,000s.
Yeah.
Probably $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 to.
Trimming what you're talking about. What would you
for
say?
removal? Full removal.
How about trimming what you're talking about? What you suggested?
Trimming? You're probably, depending upon what branches you take out, what kind of equipment he gets here, I would say under 2,000.
Okay. All right, Tom. I appreciate it sincerely.
It's just hard with all this stuff in the
Yeah.
way. That's what makes it the hard part.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's good. You think it might last another 20 years at least?
Yeah. Not in bad shape, except for that one with the 2 cavities in it.
Right.